Hello friends and welcome to another YouTube video. If you didn't subscribe, make sure to press the subscribe button because we bring you trending videos daily. Now, let's start. In the red corner with total height of 104 feet we have the gigantic primate, Kong. In the blue corner with total height of 393 feet we have the radioactive prehistoric monster, Godzilla. Let's get ready to rumble. This is how the introduction of the mythical fight between Kong and Godzilla would sound like. And who would be the winner? We just need to wait few more days until the premiere of the blockbuster Godzilla vs. Kong, but let's see the pros and the cons of both fighters. Let's start with Kong. One of the most well-known monsters in all of cinema, Kong made his debut in the 1933 film bearing his name. Though he has been reimagined many times in many different films, Kong is always depicted as a gigantic gorilla-like ape residing on a remote island hidden from civilization and inhabited by other bizarre creatures. Typically, Kong is worshipped as a god by the natives living on the island, who often sacrifice women to him, whom he accepts as his brides. Kong is taken away from his island by an expedition team from the United States and brought back to New York, where he escapes and goes on a violent rampage before climbing a skyscraper and being gunned down by military aircraft and falling to his death. In all of his appearances, Kong is portrayed as a tragic and sympathetic monster. Kong lives a very solitary and difficult existence, constantly being attacked by the vicious giant creatures that live on his island. Kong rarely attacks unless provoked, and is capable of causing mass destruction due to his size and strength, which causes human beings to fear and attack him. Kong has a soft spot for human women and will do anything to protect a woman that he likes, whether it be battling against another monster or military forces. As a result of his experience in fighting other creatures, Kong displays a degree of strategy in his battles and rarely ends a fight without making sure that his opponent is either dead or incapacitated. In all of his film appearances, King Kong displays immense physical strength. Kong can fight toe-to-toe with various giant creatures, such as dinosaurs and giant snakes, and come out on top. Kong exhibits impressive agility, as he can jump over great distances and land on his feet. Kong also demonstrates durability when he continued fighting against airplanes and even destroys some of them after being riddled with bullets. In the 1976 film, Kong survives getting shredded by machine gun fire and falling from the top of the South Tower of the World Trade Center before falling into a coma. In Kong Skull Island, this gigantic monster is even more resilient and shows complete resistance to any gunfire. Kong even withstands being lit on fire after swimming through a lake filled with napalm, although it weakens him and causes him to pass out. Kong is also remarkably intelligent. He makes use of environmental objects like trees or rocks when fighting, and even when overwhelmed by more powerful or more numerous opponents he can think on his feet and find a way to win. On the other side, Godzilla is depicted as a gigantic, bipedal reptilian creature with rough, bumpy, usually charcoal gray scales with a keloid scar or tree bark-like texture, a fairly small head with prominent eyebrow-like ridges over the eyes, moderately long, humanoid arms with 4 fingers including an opposable thumb, thick, muscular legs, a long, powerful, segmented tail, and 3 rows of generally bone-white dorsal fins, usually shaped like maple leaves, though there are some designs whose traits may differ. Godzilla's behavior is that of a territorial animal, because it is theorized that Godzilla is the driving force to restore balance to nature whenever that balance is disrupted, suggesting that he essentially considers the entire Earth to be his territory. Godzilla doesn't blatantly attack or plow through ships at sea simply because they're there. In fact, with larger ships like aircraft carriers, he simply dives down under them. Even when the military launched a combined forces assault to stop him, he didn't react or fight back. As opposed to any sort of morality, it appears to be that he simply considers humans to be tiny and insignificant and does not care about their general well-being, but at the same time does not consider them worth destroying even though they, without harming him at all, fire at him non-stop. So, now that we know everything about these two monsters, who would win in a duel? Size does matter, but is it like that in this case? It is undeniable that Godzilla is stronger and larger than Kong. Godzilla whack targets with his tail, and by contrast Kong is smaller and weaker, but he utilizes his strength better due to his larger limbs. He's able to punch, tackle, grapple and kick adversaries. He can't throw his weight around the same way Godzilla can, but he is far more equipped for fighting. In terms of physical power, it seems logical that Godzilla and Kong's physical strengths and weaknesses might counter one another. Kong might be better at grappling and dodging, but Godzilla just needs to land one hit to hurt Kong hard. Kong is simply far more fragile than Godzilla. His skin is thinner, his bones are more brittle, and his body is less padded with muscle. While he isn't made of glass, he is more vulnerable to attacks. However, Kong has an advantage by being able to avoid attacks better. Ultimately, given everything, Kong is likely to win, but what will make the fight longer is that Kong will need to work hard to put Godzilla down for good. Kong has all he needs to counter Godzilla's atomic breath, avoid his physical power and still deliver the pain to the king of the monsters. What will be the final result? Write us your opinion in the comments and thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed until now, make sure you press the subscribe button because we bring you trending videos daily.